Hey, you guys, we are going to be taping a Right Place TV show. My guest is Sharice Erby, and we are going to be live. Now, we're streaming it live. We're working on the TV show, so we won't be able to chat with you the whole time, but of course, we love your hearts. So I'm going to invite some friends. Who should we invite, Cherie?
Look, let's invite them all. I let some people know we were going to be on as well, so they should be chiming in.
All right.
Did you invite OD, because he'll cast it out to some people as well?
Okay, I will put OD in here.
And Mr. Castle.
Yes, we cannot forget Mr. Castle, Warrior Castle. It's not quite the party without Mr. Castle.
It's not. We miss him.
But we're going to go ahead and invite him to the party. Who else?
Does Turquoise Erby Bell, does she come up on your...
I don't think that we're friends because when I was with you, I was already pretty full.
She missed out. See
what happens
when you snooze, you lose.
I know, huh? Yeah, it was just kind of like,
Okay, she couldn't get in there.
Yeah.
But he's there, so she should see it from his.
Yeah.
People will catch it.
People will catch it, share it. Now, because we're going to be taping the show, we won't be able to respond to you immediately, but at the end of the show, Cherie, thank you for giving me the thumbs up. Cherie is going to address you guys. So let's see if we can give you guys a good view.
So ask your questions, type them in, and we'll address them at the end of the show. This is going to be really cool. So make sure you share it and do all those fun things.
I'll let you take this. Well, I don't really need it, so okay. Let's plug it back here. This is her book. Have you guys seen this? Thank you for giving me thumbs up. Share it out.
Hope women win.
That's her book. We're going to be talking about that.
Can you tap right there? Right there? Who's hooked up to who?
Thank you for the thumbs up. Get some thumbs up.
See all this work that has to take place. This is just not easy, right? You don't just pop up and it's just all, you know.
See, Facebook Lives are easy because you just pop up and do it.
Right.
Real TV is work. Real TV is work. We're doing real
TV in a real studio.
Yeah. This is work.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
Work.
1 2 1 2. One, two, okay. Can you tap again? Okay, good. There you go. Thank you.
Fun shot. We see all of you still coming in. Thank you for coming in. Please share. Hello. Thank you. We see you.
This side.
Okay.
Do you like?
I don't mind. If I did, it'd be after 18 years, I'd be in trouble if I had issues.
Was this part supposed to be Facebook? I love you.
See how we get up close and personal.
Next time, I will not be broadcasting the fact that they actually mic us up. I will be mic'd up before I broadcast.
See how wild it gets, right? You know.
Your husband will be like, what? She's never coming to Right Place TV show again.
No, we made it easy. I had cutouts. See? So he was just able to weave in and out of the cutouts. See how that works out?
I'm gonna cover
Don't throw me under the bus.
I'm gonna cover the camera for this.
I love you. I
Don't throw me
I
under the
wouldn't
bus.
throw you under the bus. You don't have Mr. Castle. The accountability. You got to be accountable.
Mr. Castle be calling me up.
Right. What's going on?
What's going on?
Mr. Castle's in the house.
Right, right.
Okay,
Yes,
do we need this here?
No, I just was touching myself up.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this
You can hide it. Okay.
right here.
Okay.
Okay.
And we'll do the intros and tosses at the end.
Yep.
Okay. It's home.
That's because we have all these wonderful lights.
Yeah, and we've
This
been
is
doing
phenomenal.
makeup
Yes.
for a while. So.
See, this is just so first class. So the studio's first class. Dr. Wright had the makeup artist in. So when I was outside, she was like, your makeup artist is here. Get on in here, girl. Makeup artist is
Tap on your
here.
mic.
Hi.
Perfect.
Enjoying hearing the laughter.
Yeah, he's not quite finished with us yet. He will be out there and let y'all in the green room here. Thank you.
May I take a picture?
Absolutely.
Production picture. There you go.
Production
Yes.
pictures. Oh yeah. So yeah, take some production pictures. Thumbs up, you guys. I hope you guys are having a fabulous Thursday, coming into a wonderful Friday.
Talks amongst yourselves. I needed to test
We're going to be
audio.
talking amongst ourselves. So I hope that you guys are having a wonderful weekend. Hope you're sharing this out. We haven't started the show yet, so we're just talking amongst ourselves. Thank you so much for giving us hearts and thumbs up. Look at those thumbs up.
I see that.
Your
I
family is in the house.
Look, thank you all for being on. Share it out. Stay in here with us. Hang in. We're just doing some in-studio chit-chat. We'll get started pretty soon. So hang in there with us.
Right.
Share it. Let everybody know that
Come
we're
on in.
on.
Come on
We're making it happen.
in. We are making it happen. And so we're going to be doing this whole interview.
Are you expecting more people to arrive?
Yes.
Or can we lock the door? No. So leave it open?
I'll leave it open unless he's going to monitor
Got it.
for you. So she's got that. She's got that for you. Just let her know that you're ready to start and you need her to pay attention to that. Like it.
You got it? You got it?
Gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh my. Woo.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You were taking some pictures? You want to say hi to everybody on Facebook?
Yes. Hello.
Say hi,
Wave to them on
Jill.
Facebook. Yes. We're talking amongst
These girls are dynamite.
So,
Break a leg, as you say in the theater.
yes. So, we're going to be talking about her book. I'm going to be talking about, if you guys are not subscribing to the Get Crowdfunding Now podcast, you really should. It is a hot podcast. It's on Google Play, Google Podcast. It's on Alexa. If you have an Alexa,
Which I now have.
yeah, I have. And if you have a Google Home, you should be getting the podcast. It's on Anchor, so I'm going to be telling people about that. We're going to be talking about the cool stuff she has going on. I'm not going to even going to tip you out on that. I'm going to let you watch and hear about it. But this is going to be a great night. And then we have an afterglow. And so after the event, we have a mini reception for her. But it is a biz dev reception. Biz dev meaning business development. So the people that are waiting to meet with her are not only going to be taking pictures, they're talking business. So these are meetings that I've set up specifically for her to help grow her business after the show. So we have a very busy day. It's going to be
Isn't that cool? That's like really cool how she has this whole thing just set up. That's what happens when you're connecting and working with Dr. Wright. See what happens? You know, we gotta make that thing happen, and we gotta work together to expand and explode, because we are building this empire. I keep telling you all, you gotta build this empire. You gotta make it happen. Next level.
And here's the thing: when you're building something that's really, really big, here's a lesson for you guys. When you're building something that's really, really big, and you're watching somebody who's building something big, to you it looks very slow because you're watching them move this one big block. And then you're watching them move the next big block. and then you're watching them move the next big block. It looks slow and it looks boring, but when you go do what you're doing and you come back and see what they're doing, you see the big chunks of progress. So sometimes you're watching somebody and you can't really appreciate how much progress they're making. You can't appreciate how big the venture is because you're just looking at this one block that they're moving. You can't see how big the pyramid really is. You can't see how big the movement really is. You're missing out on what's really happening, and you're missing out on what your contribution could be. Can I start it remotely? I can't start it remotely.
No, unfortunately. So that's why I'm starting it at 10 minutes.
Got it.
To do a 2-minute countdown.
Okay, got
So let me know when you want to do 2 minutes.
Okay.
Ready?
Uh-huh.
You guys ready? Okay, let me just check one more time on the camera
Okay,
angle.
so we will have done the open and all this stuff, and so we'll just be like, hi, welcome, thank you for watching our TV show. So all of the open things will have happened.
Okay.
And then we're going to go right. So my
you
point
all were
is,
picking up what she was putting down, though. I hope you caught it.
so you need to figure out how to watch somebody enough to appreciate their growth and get in on it, but not watch them so close that you miss the growth and you're looking at the wrong thing. Some of you have spent so much time watching somebody that you can't appreciate their growth. You're clocking them, you're not appreciating their growth. You don't know what they've really done because you've been looking at the small little part. The whole pyramid's been going up and you missed the whole thing.
Those are priceless nuggets because we do that all the time. We're watching this one little piece and we don't even see the whole big puzzle. And so we're thinking, man, they're not going anywhere. They're not doing anything. They're not making progress. And you done missed the whole thing and they done passed you by. Catch it.
This is your time, so you know.
Okay, my one shot?
Yeah.
Not throwing away my shot. Or I'm not throwing away my
This is the
shot.
same.
Okay,
From right here.
perfect.
Okay, good. 2-minute countdown, and we're at 10. Start. Okay. Yeah, let me know when that counts down to 8, or then you can just start.
Woo-woo.
Can you hear me?
I can. We can.
Okay.
The voice of God.
Yes. I love this.
There we go. Counting down, and let me know when we're at 9 minutes, please.
9 exactly?
Yep.
Okay, we're at 9:30.
We do a 5-second count from 9 to 10:55.
I feel like I'm in the Daily Mix studio. Woo-hoo.
And we're starting
10,
at a single shot.
9, 8,
8, 7, 6, 5.
4, 3.
1 minute countdown. And we're recording. Smiles, everyone. Smiles. Welcome to Fantasy Island. Welcome your host, Mr. Warren.
And that's exactly what it sounds like.
Fast, and lady. That do
I remember that show. Now I'm dating myself.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Don't be doing your lower third line.
Oh, you will? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Fifteen seconds.
If you make a mistake, feel free to start your lines again and we'll stop the clock.
5.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Dr. LEtitia Wright, and this is the right place. My guest is Cherise Erby-castle. Yay! From P-Win. She is a dear friend of mine who has been creating an incredible empire, and I really want to take this time to share with the audience your new stuff, but also your old stuff. So we're going to talk about P-Win. We're going to talk about your book, Whole Women Win. We're going to talk about a little bit of your business journey from when you reached out, became an entrepreneur, and the things that you're growing, and the fantastic new academy that you've created. So let's just take a minute and talk about PWIN and then go from there. So let's talk about your journey of empowerment.
Well, first of all, let me just say thank you, Dr. Wright, for having me here. It is absolutely a pleasure. I've been trying to get here with you for a minute, and so I'm finally here, and I'm excited about that. So yes, let's talk about the Phenomenal Women Empowerment Network. So it really started off as a one-day conference back in 2006. And I've shared the story many times that, you know, I was that girl who ended up in a dysfunctional marriage and never thought that I would be. I didn't think that was going to be me. I saw my mother go through 3 dysfunctional marriages, people around me. So I was like, I'm going to get married one time. I'm going to stay married. It's going to be the bomb.com. Everything's going to be perfect. And so I got married, and guess what? That wasn't the story. And I found myself repeating some of the same dysfunctional behaviors that I had seen over the years. And so it became a pretty unhealthy relationship and household. And I thought, you know what, I got to do something. I got to get out of here. But it was really difficult because I was a career woman, shattering those glass ceilings. By this time, I'd become a licensed minister in my church. So how could I, out of all people, be in a dysfunctional relationship? I know that sounds familiar to somebody who's watching us. How could that be me? And so I didn't feel that I had a safe place that I could go to and say, I'm struggling, I'm having problems, you know, help me, help me, help me. And so I created the platform. That's part of who I am. I've been able to take my pain and turn it into power. And I created the Phenomenal Woman Conference.
So even though you were in church, you didn't have a place within your church to get help with your marriage. You didn't have a place within work to get help. There really wasn't a support system for you?
I felt like I would be judged. I didn't feel like I had a safe place that I could go to, and people wouldn't have an expectation because of all my titles. I'm leading the women's ministry. How am I in a dysfunctional relationship? I'm speaking from the pulpit. How am I in a dysfunctional relationship? So I'm leading a team. I'm not just in the corporate realm. I'm the manager. I'm the director. I'm in a leadership role. So how could I possibly be in that situation myself? So I didn't feel that I had a safe place. That's the key word. Could I have gone? Absolutely. But I felt like I would have been judged. So I created a platform that would be non-judgmental. And I brought in women who were demonstrating the what I needed in my life at that point in time. And so I got all these fabulous women together and created this conference in the midst of my pain, in the midst of my dysfunction. I didn't try to wait until I thought I was out of it. I want somebody to get that. Right in the middle of it, I built this platform. And my ex-husband was right there. He knew, I mean, he was sitting right there. He knew what all we were going through. And I built this conference, and I brought these ladies in, and I had them start talking about situations that were going to help me. So I always tell people that the initial creation was selfish because it was about helping me get free from what I was going through. But guess what happened? After I put it on, I found out that there were a ton of women out there who were going through right what I was going through.
Wow, they were going through exactly the same thing, and you were not only helping your own pain, but you were healing them.
Absolutely.
And you were giving them a place where, because they were going to, if they had gone out and gotten help somewhere else, they might have been judged. They might have had consequences. Some people get demoted. Some people
Absolutely.
get, they're dire consequences. They're fired. Get, lots of crazy consequences. And you're making a safe place where they can get healed.
Absolutely.
And get information.
Yes.
And get resources and come out of it.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And that's how we got started. And so we had 3 conferences back to back. And, by that 3rd conference, I was healed. And I was like, okay, it's time to get out of this marriage. I can't stay in this dysfunctional place. I felt loyal because I always said I'd get married one time till death do us part. And, I took my vows seriously. But the one thing that happened is I was sitting in church. And I'm not one of those people that, every day I tell you God's talking to me, because I don't know that I hear his voice like this every single day of my life. But this was one of those times that he distinctly said to me, that you can be set free from the marriage. You can't break relationship because both of you are still my children.
Wow.
I did not intend for either one of you to live the way that you're living because I came so that you have abundant life. This is not it. You can get out of this marriage, but you can't break the relationship. And I said, Lord, you haven't said nothing but a word. And that day, I asked him to move out and to move out that day. And you know, but he was my brother. I was his sister. We were going to love on each other through this process.
You have children together?
Actually, we don't have children together.
Okay.
Look, I was a fast little girl. I had my children young. So it was right back then. But that's the early part. You got to get that book to learn about that.
Okay, but that is real maturity because if you don't even have children together to be able to say we're still going to have a relationship, that is a lot of maturity. So I give you both credit for that to say we're still going to be mature, you know, in ourselves and make this be, like you said, relationship. Listen, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk to Sharice about what else she created besides P-Win. P-Win's an amazing event. I got to participate, I think, in number 5 and number 7.
Yes.
I had my Dime t-shirt.
Yes.
And then we come back, we're going to talk about her book. So stay with us. This is the right place.
Let's do that closeout one more time and look at the camera, not the.
I know. I'm like Facebook obsessed.
Okay. I'm going to LEtitia and go ahead and tell her that we need to go to a break.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about not only P-Win, but we're going to talk about her book and her next venture after P-Win. Thanks for hanging with us. This is the right place.
Wonderful. Let's go from the boom while we're recording, the boom cam, to you guys talking for about 5 seconds, and then you look at the camera to do your introduction.
Which one? Oh, introduction to the next scene.
No, to your first one, because I forgot to do the shot from the boom cam to your close-up.
Okay, so us just talking, and what are we doing?
Just talk for about 5 seconds, and then you stop to look at the camera to introduce yourself.
Okay.
Well, and that's easy to talk for 5 seconds. You didn't say none but a word when you say 5 seconds, but you're going to say 5 minutes.
Talk for 5 minutes and then pass out and turn on. Okay, hi, I'm Dr. LEtitia Wright, and this is the right place. Today I'm with Sharice Erby-castle, and we are talking about her business, P-Win, her book, Whole Women Win, and her brand new venture in the Academy. So I'm glad you're here. Stay with us. This is the right place.
Wonderful, thank you. And cut.
So that's actually my tease, and then we go to the open, and then we go to the part where we started talking.
Sure, that makes sense.
Okay.
Hold on a second.
Hey, you guys.
I forgot to say that. I may enter during and nudge cameras a little bit and completely ignore if I come in to do that.
Okay.
But is that what you wanted? You wanted the tease? Did you want the tease? Or is that not what you were asking me?
No. They're like doing something outside that's giving us a lot of noise. No, that was perfect.
They, the people, or they
No,
somebody
the
strange?
street people are doing something.
Got it.
This camera.
No, so my question was, is that what you asked me for, and did I give you what you asked for?
You gave me more than what I asked for. That's wonderful. Okay, let's have you come to look at this.
Okay.
So that we can just, it's
Okay, I'm right back.
So carefully.
Thank you all that are out there on Facebook Live. We appreciate you for hanging in with us on the Right Place TV show. Isn't Dr. Wright just amazing? Please make sure that you share this out. I know I saw entrepreneur mogul O.D. Harris out there. I know my hubby, my honey, my boo, my sweet thing, Michael Castle. I know he's out there. So thank you all. Make sure that you share it out. Make sure that people know that we're on here. We're on here live. Look, we're doing this taping in a studio with, Rich is an Emmy award-winning producer. Amazing. Absolutely. Look, the places that God will take you and the things that you get to do and the people that you get to meet are just absolutely astronomical when you are on purpose. When you are on purpose and you're doing what it is that you need to do in order to build your empire, look, everything will just fall all into place. So I'm going to talk to Rich about doing some things too and getting some things hooked up in Phoenix, Arizona. Just absolutely amazing. Hey there, sweetie. I see you. Thank you for the hearts. I see you. We miss you. We were talking about that earlier, just not the same with Barbershop Mike not in the house. Look, hopefully you guys shared it all out, that it's all out there. Yes. Thank you for all the love. This is real studio work. Taping in a real studio. See, Facebook Live is easy. What we do with Facebook Live is easy. Being in a studio, you have downtime in between tapings, and you got to go and review and make sure that it's all happening right, because then this is going to be packaged and it's going to air on cable TV. So that's what we're taping. So you all are getting to see it on Facebook Live. And at the end of our taping, we're actually going to get to answer questions. So if you have any questions, type those in. But then the whole show is going to be packaged and it's going to air on cable television. Woo, woo, woo. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And if any of my paparazzi suppliers, my jewelry suppliers are on, I have on my paparazzi jewelry, my necklace and my earrings. I think I actually got this one from the jewelry doc with the $5 cure. And so I also have Kamika. I have jewelry from Kamika. I will have hers on over the weekend or at my upcoming event on Saturday. I'll be speaking at Diamond Daughters, and I think I'll be wearing Kamika's jewelry there. But look, awesome, awesome, awesome. We are taking a short break. Dr. Wright is reviewing what we did the first segment, and then we'll keep going. This is so much fun. Yes, first part of the story, we got to lay some foundation, but then I'm really excited about the second part of the conversation where we get into some of the new ventures that I have going on. So make sure you hang in there with us and keep sharing it out so we can get to the new stuff. We got to lay down the foundation and then we'll get to the new stuff. And she just did an amazing job. There's, in the green room, we have amazing people that are here for our afterglow. And so it's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I wish I could pick up the laptop and show you the Emmy, because the Emmy is like right over there. I got to touch it earlier. I don't want to go get it now. I might and all, but beautiful.
Yeah, that's good. I was like totally not looking at the right camera. I'm like.
Now, just to let you know, I just noticed that was up on that screen.
Was it up on the screen the whole time?
I think it was.
Can you just cover it over in post? Like just put something on it?
See that
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe not. So,
can't you just like duplicate that and just like put it over in post?
Yeah,
like a graphic.
Yeah, but not if you happen to cross. Like, go ahead and sit down. I'd see if you cross the line. If you happen to cross the line, then I can't. Because then it's in front of you.
Got it.
Okay, so I don't think you do. So I think we're okay.
Okay, we'll run look at it again. Yeah. Just run real fast and look at it.
Okay.
Real quick. This is new.
Right there. So you get it, OD. You get what all this is happening, right? Tell them it's not easy. Let them know.
Not easy being professional.
Right.
We are professional up in the piece. Yeah, I was like totally looking at the wrong camera because all that is action.
Right.
And it's like, that's just a black camera. This is interesting. That's not interesting. I'm like totally looking at the wrong camera. You can see it in my face. I was like, oh my God.
It's in every shot. So either we redo, or you live with it. It's up to you.
Nope, we redo.
Okay.
We're gonna start from the top.
Okay.
So you have your cheese.
Yeah, right.
So cheese is done.
Excuse me, one second. Water.
We are starting from the top.
Water.
No, I'm good right now. Thank you.
Ooh, he didn't plug me back. No, I wasn't showing you this. I'm showing him this. I'm like, you can't record if I don't have a
If I have this.
I'm not plugged up. All the fun stuff that happens.
Mhm.
All the fun stuff that is happening.
This is what goes on behind the scenes. We just see the finished product. When you turn on a TV show, you just see the finished product with the show. But here's all the work that goes into it behind the scenes. See what you all get to see.
We're not going to go very far with that.
Yeah, we'll be doing 10-3. Does that look good? That looks
It
good.
came out really nice.
Did the stopwatch help?
I did.
Okay, so we're gonna do the first segment again.
Yeah.
Let's see if I even say the same stuff again. Only you all on Facebook Live will know the difference.
Let's see if I say the same stuff again. That's the kicker.
Right.
Well, I say the same thing again. So we did so the tease is out. So now we're going to 9 minutes, 30 seconds.
And this time, let's start with you. When you get close to the 5-second countdown, just start talking to her. Because I'm going to have a high angle view to
Okay,
dissolve into the main camera. So
Got it.
boom.
got it. He's doing this special drop down. It's cool. It's good. It kind of gives us like a 4-camera view.
The
So
newsroom.
like a boom view.
Woo, 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 woo.
9 minutes, 5 seconds.
Tell me right at night. Are we at night?
Yes, 9 minutes, 56, 54,
Okay.
53, 52,
We are recording. Take 3.
8. No, we're at 8 minutes. I'm sorry. 8:54, 8:45, 8:41.
We're good on time. You get to start talking and start the program whenever you want.
Love it. Woo, 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 woo. Let's go.
You messed up. You missed your time. You just start talking. I'll get back to you later.
Right.
Thanks for staying with us.
Sorry.
Give me, you know what? Can you give me like a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? That's best for me.
Sure, and I can talk while you're doing your talk. So start talking, and then I'll say action.
That would, how about that? Wow.
So keep talking.
Go figure. You,
That's
that
pretty
would be
interesting,
amazing.
right?
We're gonna be amazing.
This is all the beautiful work that goes on.
And
This is really cool. I should
action.
find out.
Welcome to Wright Place TV. Thank you for joining me. My guest today is Charisse Erby-castle. She came all the way out. She's a great friend of mine, and I can't wait to share with you what she's doing. She is heading up Penguin. She has a book. She's an author of actually a couple of books, and she has a brand new venture that I can't wait to share with you. So welcome to the Right Place.
Well, thank you, Dr. Wright. It's amazing to be here. So thank you for having me. I've been trying to get out here for a minute, so I'm finally here, and I'm glad about that. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this interview.
Absolutely. I really want to share with people your journey as an entrepreneur, and I really want to start with Penguin and how that started and how you did. Let's start there. So let's share that journey.
So let's jump into the Phenomenal Woman Empowerment Network. It really started as a one-day conference. So I always love sharing this story because I always say that it started from a place that was really selfish, okay? So are you ready for this? I talk in my books about the fact that I was in a 10-year marriage, and it was a very dysfunctional marriage, very abusive. And I was that girl, I was that chick that was like, I'm never going to be in that type of relationship. I had seen my mom go through 3 dysfunctional relationships, including, her marriage to my father. My father, he was an amazing father. He was a lousy husband. And so I was that chick. I'm like, I'm not gonna be doing that. I'm gonna marry the right person. We're gonna be married till death do us part. It's all good. I get into this marriage, and I waited till I was 30 years old to get married. And we did it right while we were dating. I get into this marriage, and guess what? It ends up being a dysfunctional relationship. And so it was not healthy. And we kept going, we kept trying to get it right, but it wasn't getting right. And so I really wanted to get free and break the cycle of dysfunction. But I was having a hard time doing it because after all, I was in corporate America. I'm that girl who's shattering glass ceilings. By this time, I had become a licensed minister in my church. And so I'm making things happen there. And so I didn't feel like I had a non-judgmental platform that I could actually go to and be a part of and not be judged for where I was at. And I didn't feel that that was anywhere around me. And I know some of you watching and listening that you can relate to that. And I needed it. So because of the type of person I am, I created the platform. So I created the Phenomenal Woman Conference. And I brought in all of these women, and I had them come in, and I had them start teaching on these very issues and topics that had me played. And you know what, Dr. Wright, I realized as I sat through this conference that I wasn't by myself. There was a whole lot of other women out there who were killing the game, who were phenomenal women living in dysfunctional situations. And I realized I'm not by myself. And so I'm onto something here, and we got to keep this going. And so that was actually the origination of the Phenomenal Woman Conference. And we ran for 3 years. And by that third year, I was set free. You know, I was like, it's time for me to get out of this relationship. And I was sitting in church one Sunday, and God actually told me, and I don't say this lightly because I know some people are like, oh, God tells me I'm not going to say I heard his voice audible like this all the time. But on this day, I clearly heard him say, I did not intend for either one of you to live this way. And you can get out the marriage, but you can't break the relationship. And I was like, come again? He said, you can divorce, you can get out of this. But what's important to me is that your relationship remains intact because both of you are my children. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you haven't said nothing but a thing. And I went home that day and asked him to pack his stuff and to move. And I was very careful. Now, when I tell the story, I make it sound like it was really easy. Of course it was difficult. You know, we had been married for 10 years. Of course it was a very difficult transition. You know, feelings get hurt, we get upset, we get mad, we don't understand. You have to go through the appropriate cycle anytime you are pulling apart a relationship. And we had that. We had a blended family, so there was a lot of moving pieces to it. But at the end of the day, we were able to dissolve the marriage, but retain our brother-sister relationship, which was important.
That's very mature. That's very mature. And that's very hard for people to do. Very difficult for people to do. That's amazing. That's amazing. Now I got to be a part of, I think, number 5 and number 7.
Yeah.
And that was just an amazing event. Yes. 7 was amazing.
Yeah,
we had a great time. I have great stories to tell from both of us. But you know, they're just amazing events, and I think that, and not just for myself. I mean, just the way that you give, you gave scholarships, and I'm not going to tell the stories because they're not my stories to tell. But just the scholarship stories alone, I did come home and I told people, I was like, oh my God, she hid scholarships away, and then the mom got up on stage. Yes. And then, you know, it was just beautiful, beautiful things going on. So. Congratulations on what you have built with people, and they've just gotten better and better and better, and you have definitely impacted lives. So I just want to congratulate you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about her book, Whole Women Win, and we're going to talk about her next venture, which is just a wonderful academy. You're just always climbing.
We gotta make it happen. That's what we do, and it's an example of the book. So I'll save it till we get into that. But it's always about getting to that next level.
So stay with us. This is the right place.
And good.
Woo! Y'all still with us? Thank you. Thank you
Hey,
for hanging in there.
There's a couple people still hanging in there.
Right.
Give some thumbs up. Give some thumbs up. Give some energy.
I know, and some of you, like, how many times have you heard that part of the story?
I don't think I've heard that part.
You haven't?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I've heard like different pieces, but I don't think I've heard that piece.
Well,
That's why I
we
said,
do it.
that's why I said the first time I was like, hey, you have kids together? And you're like, what are you talking about? Y'all know what you're talking about.
No, that's why.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay.
We're gonna focus on we're gonna talk about that.
So that's why we keep talking about the story.
There
We
you
keep
go.
talking about how it's built.
Talk
You
about
never
story?
know. Right.
Amongst yourselves?
Yeah.
Oh, amongst ourselves, and you're
Yes.
gonna count me in? Okay, got it.
Sure.
Got it.
That's what we'll do.
And action.
That's like a great thing for that. It's like it looks
And action. I keep saying action, you don't have to be it.
Do you want me to talk? I mean,
Yeah.
is that when I go to camera?
Yes.
Oh, I thought that's when we start talking.
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. Count me down and then I'll understand what you're talking
Got it.
about. Okay.
And recording started, so go ahead and talk about yourself.
We're talking about ourselves. Not the stock photo.
And action.
All right, welcome back. I'm Dr. LEtitia Wright. I'm here with Erby-castle from Pewin, and we're going to be talking about her book. Her book is called Whole Women Win. And how long ago did you write this book?
So that book I actually published in 2014.
Oh, okay.
And so this was so in the first segment, we talked about the origination and how the Phenomenal Woman Conference started. And then we transitioned and became the Phenomenal Woman Empowerment Network. And within that transition, that I had undergone a transition myself. I had to really do some work on myself. That I realized from my ex-relationship is that I couldn't place the blame at the feet of my ex-husband. Even though some horrific, horrible things happened, I couldn't be upset with him. After all, what was going on with me that I connected with a broken man? So I would say, brokenness knows brokenness. So the broken pieces in me connected with the broken pieces in this man.
When you got whole, you couldn't say nothing anymore.
Look, she picked it right on up, and that's exactly what happened. I thought, you know what, I've gone through this transition and this transformation. Again, someone else is needing to go through this same transformation. And so one of the ladies at the church actually came up to me and it's so interesting how you think that you're hiding stuff or that you're holding stuff back, and people see through that all the time. And so once I started going through this transformation, one of the deacons at my church started calling me Sister Glow because my continence started glowing, right? Because I started healing, I started becoming whole. And so one of the ladies at my church came up to me, and I had no idea that she even knew what was going on. And she was one of the mothers of the church. And she walked up to me in the parking lot one day and she said, you know what? You really need to preach a sermon about whole women winning. And I looked at her and I said, what do you mean, preach a sermon about whole women winning? She said, you have become whole and you need to preach a sermon because other women need to hear that. And I thought, okay. And so I kept trying to work it into a sermon, into a speech, into a message. And, you know, the vision came to me that it would be a book, Whole Women Win, Unleashing the Winner from Within. So how do we take all of our broken pieces and become whole? What does that look like? We throw around wholeness, but what does it actually look like to walk through the process of becoming whole? And a large portion of that is all the introspective work that we have to do. And so the book is 9 messages speaking directly to women about how we really evaluate all those areas of our life to see what's going on with us and begin to focus on us and really putting those pieces together in each area of our life so that we become whole and we become the women that God has created us to be. And we begin to walk in our destiny and chase our dreams and evolve and shoot into the stratosphere of success. But it comes down to, you got to roll up your sleeves and you got to put in some work. And that's what I had to do. I talk about a meltdown that I had sitting in my car in a hot garage, because I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and I think it was like 111 degrees on this day. And I'm pouring down sweat sitting in my car in the garage, having this conversation, trying to understand how I got to that point in my life. I worked so hard not to be there, and here I was right there. And I had to really ask myself some tough questions, and I had to be honest. See, we'll ask ourselves the questions, but then we'll turn around and lie to ourselves. You got to be honest with yourself. If you're not honest with nobody else, you got to be honest with yourself and true with yourself. And that's the come to Jesus moment, as I call it, that I had in the car that day. And really opening up the can, opening up the closet, and really looking in that closet and looking at my own stuff. You know, looking,
not blame on him or anybody else. What I mean, a lot of people feel like when it starts to be uncomfortable to looking at your own stuff, that's the wrong direction, and that's time to stop. What do you say about that?
That's time to begin, and that's the beginning of your healing. So if you're still blaming someone else, that's the number one indicator that you still have broken pieces within you when you're blaming someone else. I didn't have time to blame him because I had broken pieces. And it would have been easy to blame him. It would have made me feel better to blame him. But the truth of the matter is that if I wasn't still harboring some resentment, if I still wasn't happy with where I was at in my own life, in my own journey, if I wasn't happy with how I was feeling and how I was looking, it was bound to help deteriorate the relationship. And here I am bringing all this baggage into this relationship. It wasn't going to work. We weren't even ready to get married when we got married. But you know, we do that thing, that name and claim. Oh, I'm ready to get married. And so I see this man, let me name, oh, that's my husband, that's my wife, I'm going to get him, I'm going to get her. No, focus on you and allow that man.
That's scary. That's my husband. That's scary.
That's what we do. Because we think that we're ready. I always tell people, focus on you. Do what you do day in and day out, and that person will find you. Okay, you'll come together. But when you seek out to go find somebody, be careful, because you just might get what you're looking for. Okay. And I had to really look at myself and say, Sharice, what's really going on? What's your attitude really like?
Where can we get your book?
It's online. So you can actually go to Barnes & Noble, you can go to Amazon, or you can go to my website, mypwin.online, and you can order the book there.
Very good. You guys pick up this book. We're going to take a quick break, and I want to introduce to you her newest venture, which is an academy. It's an incredible opportunity for you to join a partner, and it's just an amazing, amazing opportunity. So stay with us. This is the right place.
And cut. Wonderful.
We did it. We got through the second segment. I think we saw some hearts, You were giving us some love. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that.
All righty.
We're moving right along.
So
Segment
we're all ready
3.
to start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Guys ready? We start recording now. Stand by. Start your speech.
Again, we're talking and we're chatting.
And action. We'll try it again. Keep talking.
Okay, so we just
I know,
we gotta do better.
And action.
Welcome back. This is the right place. I'm Dr. LEtitia Wright, and we're talking with Sharice Erby-castle, and we're about to find out some amazing information. So this is really cool. You have created an online academy, and this is the next phase, not the end phase, but the next phase of the empire.
Yeah.
And tell us about this academy and what you're doing with it, and just tell us about it. I'm excited.
I'm excited. So here's the thing about it. We do, with the Phenomenal Women Empowerment Network, PWIN as we lovingly call it, we do a lot of conferences, workshops, seminars, and so I get people all over. I've had people from Africa, New York, all over reach out to me and say, okay, when are you coming to my area? When are you bringing this workshop here? When are you? And I can't be every place at the same time. And so I'm like, how do we expand? How do we make it easy for people to be able to connect and tap into the information that they need? PWIN is a personal, professional, and spiritual development organization. And so how do we make it easy for anybody, no matter where they are, to tap in to the material that we have? And so voila, we came up with the Next Level Empowerment and Development Academy. And so now we're online and we're launching. This is part of our launch for the Academy. And what we've done is we've gone to powerupyoursuccess.com. We've placed an Academy out there. We're taking all of the workshops, the seminars, we're taking all of that content and we're placing it inside of the Academy. And so now, no matter where you are globally, you can now register, you can become a part, you can enroll into this Academy. And on your schedule, when you got time, on the days that you're available, you can go inside the Academy and you can look at each one of the webinars inside the Academy, and you can get this content to help take you and your business to the next level. So whether it's personal development, maybe you're trying to understand your purpose and what to do with your purpose, how to walk in your purpose. You might be trying to understand your how to relate to people on a greater scale. We got that for you. Maybe you're an entrepreneur and you want to understand business credit. You want to understand your competitive advantage. You want to understand how to use social media to expand your business. We have those courses now for you in the form of webinars inside of the Academy. And from a spiritual standpoint, I have met so many people who feel that they've been hurt by the church and they've really kind of turned their back and they've walked away from the institution of church. We have a webinar, I've been hurt by the church, now what? And we have guides in there that will help you get to the place of where you need to be spiritually to be able to help you. And so we cover personal, professional, and spiritual development. You can enroll, you can go through. So look, if you start a webinar and you need to stop and you need to go do something else, now you can come back to it.
Wow. So really you can create your own consistency level. If you only have once a week, if I can only do it once a week, I can take my time and do it once a week. If I commit to doing 5 days a week, I can do that. I can just really kind of create my own schedule. I'm at home, my own self. Nobody has to know. I was hurt by the church class. My pastor don't have to sign up.
Right. Nobody knows that you're in there and that you're trying to build up your spiritual development. It's just like me and you. It's just the two of us in that classroom. And that's exactly right. You can do it at your own pace, your own time. We have 3 classes currently, and every month we're adding additional classes. But here's the bonus, okay? I am partnered with phenomenal men and women. So if you are a PWIN partner, you also can place content inside of this academy. So not only do the enrollees of the academy get access to my content and me as a facilitator, now our dynamic partners of PWIN, you also get access to their content as well. And so what more can you ask for?
And this is when we talk about leverage.
Yes.
This is leverage. This is where you put in a certain amount, but now you have this large amount that's taking you up.
Yes.
Because we're working together, we're putting in content, we're reaching more people, and we have an opportunity to impact lives. We have an opportunity to change lives.
Yes.
There are people that can't make progress because there's information they don't know about business.
Right.
There's people who can't make progress because their spiritual lives are so crushed that they can't make the progress that they need to make.
That's right.
And then there's people that just need personal, professional development. They need some skills. There's some skills they don't have, and they ain't gonna make it. If they get these skills, they can make it at work, they can make it in their business, they can make it in their professional lives, they can do better. And this opportunity to be with the Academy is just going to be incredible. So give us the URL for the Academy. Is it already launched or does it have a launch date? Tell us that.
So the URL is powerupyoursuccess.com, and it has already launched. And so we already have classes that are in there, and we actually, the entrepreneurial mogul, as I call him, O.D. Harris, he's my media partner, and he actually has like 2 or 3 more classes that we've already taped, and those are in the process of being uploaded. And so the Academy is already live, and everything that you said hit it spot on. What we've done with this Academy is we've removed the excuses. No more excuses. So you can't say, oh, you know what, I can't afford to go to this individual event and this individual event, or it's not in my city, or I don't have time. No, you have time now. So based on the availability of when you're available, you can tap into this Academy. And what I love about it is you can go in and out. You know, hopefully I have time to share the story. I have a young lady who reached out to me about a month ago. And she reached out to me in my DM on Facebook, and she sent me this picture of her face being black and blue. Oh. And I saw it, and it startled me. And I was like, oh, my goodness. And she said, you know what? I attended one of your workshops, and I have your book, Whole Women Win. She said, my boyfriend actually beat me, and this is what my face looked like. And she said, but you know, I needed strength. And what I did is I went back to your book, because I remember the chapter where you talked about sitting in your car and having that moment. And she said, I went back to that chapter and I reread that chapter, and it gave me the strength that I needed to be able to make some decisions in my life regarding my situation. And she said, I'm not 100% there, but I'm on the road and I know what I need to do. And that was so impactful for me, because what it let me know and what it confirmed is that, number one, it's real in this world. And what we go through is very real, whether it's personally, whether it's in our businesses, or whether it's spiritually. And we need to be able to not just have a one-time encounter. There's times where we need to be able to revisit the information. We need to go back and we need to rewatch a seminar. We need to reread a book. We need to go back and we need to be able to get it into our spirit, into our knowing, and be able to move forward. And this Academy really allows people to be able to do that. You may have watched the webinar and now a situation happens in your business. And you're like, oh, wait a minute, I know that she talked about this in the Academy. Let me go back and watch this webinar again so I can get what I need, because now the situation is live and real, and I can use this as a tool to walk me through. And that's exactly what we're doing with the Academy. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited about this next level, this next venture with the Academy, and just what it's going to do for so many people, thousands of people everywhere.
That's amazing. Congratulations
on
your next level of the empire. I'm so glad that you came out and we got to spend some time together. All right. Thank you so much.
Yes, it's my pleasure. Yes.
Listen, thank you for spending time together. Before we go, I just want to make one quick announcement. The Get Crowdfunding Now podcast is live and available. You can get it on Google Play, Google Podcasts. You can program your Alexa to get it as a briefing, or your Google Home can play it for you. Just need to subscribe and program it. So please go listen to it. It's called the Get Crowdfunded Now podcast, where I just talk about crowdfunding and teach you how to raise the money for your business, or how to be an investor in crowdfunding. Remember, it's not about being broke. It's about being leveraged. So thank you for joining me. Again, remember, ignoring one's conscience is neither safe nor right. I'll say it again. Remember, ignoring one's conscience is neither safe nor right. And I'll see you next time. Woo, 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 woo.
We did it.
Hold on, we got a little issue. Can you tell me if the lipstick on her teeth, you can see it?
Oh, can you see the lipstick on my teeth?
Oh, I can now.
I can now. And I smile big. You gotta play the replay.
Could you see it?
Let me tell you when it came in.
I saw it the first time. I don't think you can see it.
Hopefully you can't see it.
See, look. This is how we do it.
This is how we do it. Lipstick on.
Thank you
Lipstick
for
on
all
my
those
teeth.
that hung in here with us. You guys are
I can't
amazing.
hear if you're talking about
No, we're talking to Facebook Live.
Yes,
we're not
we're talking to the
you.
livers.
We're not talking to you anymore because you let me have lipstick on my teeth. No, we're working on lipstick on the teeth to see if that happened. And then you'll be able to see the comments and talk to people in just a few minutes. We're almost done.
You guys are troopers. Just hung in there with us. Amazing.
Amazing.
It's been like an hour and you all are still hanging in there.
Probably just like
Sweetie, are you still out there? Did you stay on? But I don't see those cards for Mr. Castle. Did he ditch us? Did he?
I'm going
Look.
outside for a minute.
I'm gonna go take a walk.
I'll be right
But
back.
I hadn't heard that part of the
All
story.
right, I'm gonna be right back.
That's hilarious.
Congratulations.
Yes,
That's
you
it.
were
Awesome.
No, you can come in.
Stand by, we're not done yet.
Oh, stand by 1 second.
The screen went black.
Okay, no problem.
I can't hear anything yet.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back online. Sorry about that. I couldn't hear anything.
Okay, no problem.
But I do resemble all those remotes.
Yes, we were talking about how fabulous you are. So you do resemble all of them.
Yeah, right. Okay, let's do the close again from your closeout with her.
Which
And then-
which part?
Right at the end.
Which part? Thank you.
Yeah, your closeout.
Thank you
So
for.
thank you for being with us. And now I have another announcement.
Okay, podcast announcement. Got it.
Yes.
Okay. Count me down and then say action, and then I'll ignore you, and then you say action again, and then we'll do it again.
Action.
Well, thank you so much, Sharice, for coming out. It's so good to have you here, and congratulations on your new academy. It's going to be amazing.
It is a pleasure to be here. So thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Awesome. Hey, I just have one more announcement for you guys before we go. The Get Crowdfunding Now podcast is live, and I want you to subscribe. I talk about crowdfunding from the investment side and from the fundraising side in terms of business perspective only. If you're trying to raise your rent, don't bother. But I got some great information for you if you're doing it from the business perspective. So we're on Google Play, Stitcher, Anchor.fm, Google Podcast. You can get it on your Alexa. You can get it on your Google Home. Please go ahead and subscribe. I'd love to have you there. Thank you so much. Remember, ignoring one's conscience is neither safe nor right. And I'll see you next time.
And cut. Great.
Woo! And see, that was better because the quote came out.
Right. I was like, I'm rusty as hell. Because you know what it is? You know what it is? On the podcast, that part is recorded. So I don't say it every single time. It's like, that's recorded. I said it one time.
That's
Like,
it.
oh my God, my quote didn't want to come out of my mouth.
Perfect.
What's happening to me?
Perfect.
All
Count
right.
up you want me to like count up the actual minutes and seconds to tell you how much time you have for your opener and closer?
No, because because you got the rundown sheet and you just gonna edit it and you gonna make it work. That's your job. That's your job.
Okay, so do you want to do your closer and opener?
That was my closer.
Okay.
No, the closer and the opener, 30 seconds, that's the thing that we don't have. No, that's from the old show.
Right. So is that what we still have yet to do?
No, we just did it.
Okay, got it.
Hey, blah, blah, blah. Da, 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 da. Thanks for having me. Remember ignoring those guys and saving that? That's it. That's the closer.
No, the opener wasn't 30 seconds. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's a wrap?
The tease is 15 seconds. Hey, guess what? This is what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Then the open is 30 seconds of the music, and this is the right place, and blah, blah, blah. That's not me talking. That's a recorded part that's on the other show, on the old show.
Okay. And if we happen to be short, we fill that in with commercials, with spots?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
So if we're short, we'll just add more PSA. I don't think we will be short. I can't see that.
Okay, so
Unless
That's
my segments were short.
about a minute short each. Somewhere between 30 seconds and a minute each.
Yeah, we can do a 30-second PSA. That's not bad.
So is it a wrap, boss?
We are a wrap.
Yay!
So now you
So
go.
tell the folks, because I can hear you.
We are a wrap.
We
people.
are a wrap.
You can come in and say hi. So he's gonna turn the computer off. Now you can come in and say hi, and then we can disconnect.
Careful, you're wired up.
Yeah, these are not a party gift. So this, as I tell people, the microphones are not a party
Party
gift.
gift, so we don't leave them.
So please.
Was that the entrepreneur mogul? Was that who we still saw out there?
You guys were so hot. Oh, you
you
sizzled. I tell you, it was wonderful seeing all the color, but the color that stood out was the pink in the nail.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And she turned, oh, it is. I thought it was white, and then they colored it. And your jewelry and your eyes.
It all
for
good.
Andre Berry.
Sparkle.
Yes, yes.
He would take the mic out and he just.
And then-
Oh, thank you for a great show.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I didn't have to pay for admission. I got a front row seat.
That was amazing for a row seat, right?
Oh, it was the best. I couldn't help but notice how beautiful you girls look, and your topic was very captivating. I want to hear about the tools. You know,
Yeah, we're gonna go.
Wait. Are we still on live?
We are alive.
Hey, how was the editing?
Say the important part. Like, what happened with the editing?
You were such a great.
You gotta tell everybody there. You gotta tell everybody there.
Oh my!
Thank you.
He was. He really was.
That's TVP Live, folks.
He kept us going. He kept us going.
I loved it. Thank you. Thank you so
We're
much.
gonna come out there. So anyway, go ahead.
All right.
The crowd here.
I don't even see. Did we have any questions?
Well, we don't have the thing up here like it's supposed to be. So let me go back here.
Who's still on with us?
Oops.
Stay on page.
Page. I'm all squinting. So that's attractive.
Do we have questions out there? Who's still on?
I don't know how.
Entrepreneur Mogul OD Harris is on. Did you hear that? Did you hear that instruction, Entrepreneur Mogul, about getting those other 2 classes uploaded in that classroom? We had to get those going, so those are there.
Go here. Go to this. Let me go on the phone and see if I can get it. I can't see it in this particular. It's not on my computer.
And we'll come back on because I don't even know that I see any questions. Any questions? Anyone have any feedback for us? We see the hearts, we see the likes, we see the love. Now we're going to transition over to the afterglow, and we'll come back on live. I'll come on live for the afterglow. Did you all see my paparazzi jury? I got that from the jury doc, Monica Thomas.
All right, guys. We'll see you later. Thank you so much.
We'll come back on. Stay tuned.